Снова привет. Мы будем продолжать с вами разговаривать про кибербезопасность.
Hello again. We are going to speak about cybersecurity, and right now we're going to speak about entity which is called ecosystems in cybersecurity. And my interlocutors, Ilman Mibutov, product development in positive technologies. Hello, Ilman. And Valery Bogdashov, executive director from our Vision company. So we have two vendors. Tell me, please, my dear friends, what are those ecosystems and what are we going to speak about? Well, I'm going to begin and Valery is going to continue. The first thing, ecosystem for the company is a model of business. Ecosystems have been created in the markets, in a number of industries, in many industries. There are Western ecosystems, Russian ecosystems, there are cybersecurity ecosystems, which we are going to speak about. And can you make me an example? Because in my world picture, ecosystem is Yandex, a lot of businesses under one umbrella. One of the first ecosystems which started speaking about it, it was Sber, Tinkoff, as ecosystem of different financial and not only services for the client. If we're speaking about cybersecurity, this is some umbrella company which has a lot of separate entities. Well, this could be a set of companies, or it can be an assembly of product portfolio which were created somewhere, somehow through mergers and acquisitions, or were created in different times, and the company came to understanding that they have to be united within one ecosystem. We should give them the qualities of ecosystem, and we can speak about it in order to simplify your lives, to simplify the lives of your own clients, the objectives and the model of the business and the model of communications with your clients, and certain technological unity of solutions which come to our systems. And ecosystem is created by acquisition or by internal shaping. Well, the internal organization of the kitchen, of the work inside of the vendors who already have 10, 15, 20 products, this can also create their own internal ecosystem. Valery, do you agree with us, or you want to argue with us? Well, I agree with some things, and maybe I will express our vision of the ecosystem. First of all, we are looking at the client, and first of all, this is about technologies. This is some kind of a joint value of used technologies, which carries more value for the client than usage of every technology separately. Well, and mostly, I do agree from the point of view of examples, and moreover, we should look from the point of view of, well, in these examples, what it gives to the client. In the case with Tinkoff and Yandex examples, it is ecosystem of products, we can say technologies, which somehow are interconnected through the usage of different point systems, through some cross usage of navigation, single system of authorization in certain services, possibility of working in one window, and in the end run, users or the clients could receive realization of their needs, solve their problems in the most convenient way, in the same interface. But you gave me the key word, the user. So can you tell me, please? Yes, I understand there's an ecosystem and it is done for somebody. So who should be the client, consumer, target audience, for whom this ecosystem is being produced? Who are those people, companies? Who are they? Well, can I be the one? There could be a lot of different options, and most properly it would be to speak about what it gives to us, who is our client, and for whom we do that. Our client is the enterprise segment, big companies with big infrastructures, with big number of systems, with big IT team and specialists and information security specialists whose main objective is to protect this infrastructure information and processes. That's why, to us, it's a large business. It's the enterprise. To us, this is the whole market that is interested in info business. We have two main directions, and we are trying to give to our products the qualities that will satisfy to these two segments. What are those segments? Well, these are large enterprises which have clear understanding of what they want from functionality. They have mature teams, they know their desires, and they want to see their embodiment of these desires in the product. And we are responsible with our flexibility, with the ability to convey proper or maybe competitive features which are expected from our products. And the second segment is a segment where information security questions are needed and important, but the company is limited in resources, human resources, expertise resources. They understand that they will never be able to create large security operations center, for example. They are ready to separate 2-3 people, maybe in the information security department, and give them objectives of providing the security. For these companies, we provide expertise in our products. We have flexible licensing models in order to answer by comparable prices to the expectations in these niches. And we are trying to convey for these companies a certain completed solution with the expertise that you include and you get practical experience. Question from a basic employee. You have described two audiences which are different from each other. Basically, one adult audience, the second one is on the way to this maturity, and they have different needs. But the ecosystem for them, is it the same or two different ecosystems? Well, it's the same ecosystem. It's replying to the needs, and our main goal is to be able to build this ecosystem in such a way so that during the availability of these different properties and requests of the audience, we could provide proper expert. So this is a flexible body organism. Yeah, the product has to be scalable and should report to the cost minimization. And for this, we have like all-in-one licenses, which are very accessible to this segment of the clients, and also options where, realistically speaking, the company chooses with the feedback to the price, but they look at the weight, criteria of functionality, and then they look at the price. First of all, they look at the functionality. So we are ready to provide the answer, and we do have certain products like that. There's a lot of them. So we go to the conversation about the products. Hurrah! You are not mono-vendor companies. Each one of you behind your back have certain set of products. Can you tell me, please, from which technologies, from which products you build this ecosystem? Let's begin with you, Valery. Well, we are not non-mono product company, as you said. Mono vendor. You said mono vendors. We are vendors, but non-mono product company. Yes, I wanted to say mono product. But this is good when you're non-mono vendor market. It's an arguable question, but nevertheless, I will give you the answer about technologies which create our ecosystem. Right now, main technologies which are part of this ecosystem, these are technologies of asset management and everything which is related with it. Vulnerability management, this is SOAR technologies, orchestration of incidents, events of information security. This is management of cybersecurity, threat intelligence platform, the system of creation of false infrastructure layer, deception platform, DDP product that we have our technology, our system, UBA system, search of anomalies in the infrastructural systems of our clients. So, therefore, afterwards, our pinpoint have been announced, and right now we are developing, and we also have good plans for the development of ecosystem from the point of view of technologies which are going to appear, and all of them are directed to give our clients, to give our users completed value as a solution of those tasks that they have right now, so that ecosystem would give them joint effect, joint value that I was speaking about in a previous public poll. But what are the top 3 objectives that you are trying to solve? Well, in a framework, well, the main idea that we've been promoting in recent years, it was a story related with the automation of incident reaction centers. And one of the central links is the SOAR platform as the console of all the specialist operations and other technologies. They carry some additional context component for the incident asset management as IT assets and more higher level information processes of those informational systems. They provide certain process for the decision making. And speaking about technologies like detect technologies, to the context, we can have a threat intelligence platform speaking about detect technology, sense technology, following the UBA and threat perception. They could be additional sources of information in what is happening in the infrastructure and how can we work with it. Well, we can speak a lot about it. So these are examples that I wanted to make. Is there any product that is not inbuilt into the ecosystem? No. All product portfolio can be inbuilt. It's all interchangeable. And what about, do we make one big ecosystem from all the products? Yeah, like an octopus. Yes, from one side, there are technologies which are responsible for monitoring of infrastructure, incident monitoring. They do it wonderfully, and you can make examples of monitoring and incident detection. Max Patrol is networking activity, network attack discovery system, discovery of the sandbox discovery, monitoring level of endpoints, and everything which is related with extended detection and response, XDR products. And this is some kind of a base which is united into the ecosystem. It can include elements of vulnerability management. For example, if the company unites all of these into a simple concept of operations, single concept of managing threats, and we can also include a web application firewall, some networking method of detecting attacks of a higher layer on the level of applications and web applications. But nevertheless, everything has been monitored, detected, and discovering the violators. What stands aside and is not included into this ecosystem, and it works on our market like that, in OPSEC as such, it stands next. It's next to the DevOps, and building security controls is not always a separate objective for the section of incident monitoring. Very often it's a separate practice, and for them, we're not just creating the ecosystem. We do have certain products out there, but the crown of these ecosystems, and especially ecosystem of monitoring, we see the Meta product O2. We see the development of this ecosystem. The first one about incident monitoring, we see some automatic response into a certain system, which with minimal human participation is able to react, is able to shed a light on the chains of attacks which lead to inadmissible events, and we should involve people to make a decision, or if we clearly have confirmed to the chain, and which will lead to the inadmissible events in 2-3 steps from it, then we would have a possibility to react to it as fast as possible. And you said that OPSEC is separate and not part of this system, if I properly understand you. But how the top of this brain activity will be building the proper chains if very often any chain begins with a web, and your AppSec talks to Pert Solar. Web application firewall in this first ecosystem. Application inspector black box, then the topic related with the security of the infrastructure, code, infrastructure of applications, and they are separated into a certain separate pool. So right now we are not collecting some second or the third ecosystem because there is a pool of solutions for application security. So the ecosystem CTK, Central of Fighting about Cyber Threats, we can bring it to the sensors for the O2, and this is the separated Hadoop ecosystem with its clear positioning. Well, I understand that. Well, about ecosystem, you're telling us beautifully. We understand that it's a big work. It's very interesting to you. It's very important. Each one of you has a very big, I don't know how to call it, big sets of products of similar ecosystems. So tell me about your clients, that each one of them, what they receive by using this ecosystem, why it's not possible to take a set of products and I cannot build it for myself, by myself. Why do I need any additional history for this ecosystem? Basically speaking, I will give you the following answer. Our products were produced as a response to our internal challenges. Some products have been growing inside from within. They've been increased by functionality, and then they've been put to the market as a certain separate solution, as a solution for those problems that we as a company which defends its own data and information about the clients try to automate and bring into a certain category of solutions. Well, coming from this, I can give you a clear answer. If the company follows our ecosystem, the company receives a necessary stack of technologies to solve practical goals and to provide real security. We don't think that we are going to be providing the full scale, and we're not saying that all classes of protections are available in all the solutions. We are looking in the most important ones that we have survived ourselves. The company which follows our ecosystem, they have an opportunity to get certain reference model and research and follow our common practices. So like this stack of technologies, a certain understanding of information security infrastructure on the basis of our products, a reference model, and considering the fact that we ourselves have integrated these products, we have throughput scenarios for using these solutions, we are providing ourselves with the answer that we are inside of the technological integration, because everything has been combined, and we are solving some kind of a throughput, detect, attack objectives, which you can see in an application firewall, in a NAT, in a level of network, and with the integration with the sandbox, so that from the traffic you could pull out some potentially malicious code. And this is combined into a single use case model where we clearly reply for the whole assembly as such, turnkey solution. And we take away the headaches of combining 6-7 different solutions from different vendors and provide continuity for the support for all of them. But if the client has a necessity of using the solution which is not in your bundle of your ecosystem, and you have to combine snake with the hedgehog, well, this is some kind of a sample. It's kind of a best solution which are included in this reference model. They can all be replaced one by another if the client has a certain product which was previously purchased. Yes, of course, you will have to solve the same problems related with integration, and you have to combine it seamlessly from all those patches that were offered by the client. But keeping in mind this reference model, you can restore and create a certain use case for this integration. Almost everywhere we have APIs, all the solutions provide logs, and everything can be assembled if we are speaking about availability of separate classes of security on the side of the client. Valery, what your clients get when they have our vision ecosystem in the hands? I think that in my answer, there will be some cross sections with what Ilman was speaking about.
Отлично.
You can be focused on differences. I'll try. Number one, all the clients are different, with different levels of maturity, with different objectives, which have to be solved by them immediately. The ecosystem offers them an opportunity of moving their own way. Not something that was intruded in them and given to them, but they can start with bringing to order their inventory. They can try to understand what they work with. They can build a parallel story with top management. At the same time, they need to react to incidents which are happening in their system right now. So this story can be built in parallel. Ecosystem approach offers to work flexibly.
При этом можно использовать технологии от различных производителей.
At the same time, you can use technologies from different vendors, but there is one little but. Like Ilman already have said, there are integrational mechanisms. However, they have their own peculiarities, and the devil is in the detail. Sometimes the solution by the agent of a certain vendor who is present in many clients, it works only specifically and does not allow you to do something which is necessary for solving the end objective of the client. So you need additional entity. You cannot just take and use a solution that is already available. So if the client will have a desire to complete something, so these are different roadmaps, different vendors, different dialogues, and sometimes it is very difficult to sync them, let's call it like that. So if you will choose an ecosystem, in our case, our company, the dialogue is much simpler because you work only with one entity. And this is in the case if some technological abilities are not available. The second advantage for the client can be related to a monetary question. It's a more flexible management of your own budget. As I've told you, they have an objective on the technological side, which have to be realized consecutively, but it is impossible to do everything in parallel, and they have budgetary limitations. So in the framework of this ecosystem, this story can be forecasted. It's easier to be forecasted. Why? If I have a plan for the development of information security infrastructure, I understand that I have to implement A, B, C, D. How is it different from planning of the ecosystem? Well, there are different tools and agreements in the framework of one manufacturer, if you like, his ecosystem, and there are technologies which can be tested, standard, inbuilt in those objectives and processes which have to be solved by the client on the piloting stage. Possibly during realization of tasks planned for the year, we can change those plans because the life might happen. More flexible model. Yeah, it is much more flexible model. And when you have a dialogue in the framework of one ecosystem, it's much simpler. And this can be done as a barter basis. So we've been talking about the money. It was my question, like Diana in the bushes, but the colleague have told us, tell me please, let's imagine that we have moved about 3 years ahead of us, or maybe 4 years ahead of us. And what will be these ecosystems? Which technologies are available? Which technologies should be added? How the stack of objectives is changing, what happens to it, what this ecosystem will look like in 3 years. This ecosystem in 3 years of positive technologies will be a big machine working on the autopilot, with all the processes related with detect and all the processes related with automated solution for the problems of detection, reaction, and for us, this is the future, and we are moving in this direction so that all our operations would serve to one big goal, to catch hackers at the moment when they are about to intrude and realize the inadmissible event. So it's like you want to let them in, allow them to start working, and then catch them laughing. Yes, it's a balance between not cutting some connections on the stage of when this can be a false positive. Okay, we should give certain flexibility to the company. We should not tighten the bolts from the information security function, but we should precisely understand that 2 steps are left to the inadmissible event, and this is not a joke. We should catch him, and it's end of the games. Valery, what about you? What is going to happen with your ecosystem? This is one big autopilot. What about you? Well, about 3 years, I'm not confident that I can tell you what's going to happen in 3 years from now, because the measures are changing, and this year is a very interesting year. It gives certain peculiarities to the labs, and the plans can be changed. But I will be able to tell you which technologies will be available precisely. Right now, we are actively working in this direction, and to everything that I've said, local management technologies and correlation engine will definitely be a CM of our production. And when we've been speaking about the technologies that build our ecosystem, I forgot to mention the umbrella level of management of informational security, our product of Azure C technology, compliance to the requirement of the defense of the infrastructure, the current temperature map, heat map of informational security of every company, in addition to that ecosystem that I was speaking about during my first questions, and those technologies, and then adding technologies which are going to help objectives with the usage of our products in this ecosystem. Yes, I understand that. And I agree with Ilman. There is no single solution to provide informational security only with our products and cover all cases and objectives of our clients in the informational security. Previously, it was a security operation center concept, and now this is an ecosystem that can be offered to our client. It's developing complementary. Well, we've been talking about ecosystems. Ilman Vilbutov, future driver of ecosystem as an autopilot, a Positive Technologies company. Valery Bogdashov, executive director of AirVision. They have more intelligent ecosystem without all those red shoulders, but a very smart one, and I think it's going to be a very intelligent one. Thank you very much. A beautiful one. Use, test, try, and go to these colleagues with the questions, and maybe to yourself. Give them ideas and don't switch over. We're going to have even more interesting sessions.